news coming in on Zomato that the food delivery platform has announced that it has received a tax demand of over 800 crore rupees, and this includes both interest and penalty from the GST department in Thane. Now, in addition to this, the news on Zomato also is that Zomato's Blinkit has now launched another format called the Blinkit Bistro to compete with Zepto Cafe, which was announced just 2 days ago. On the charts, let's look at Zomato. Zomato, while on a year-on-date basis, it is up about 127%, but the action this morning on Zomato seems to be a little slow. Zomato is down about half a percentage point. Trading strategy on Zomato, Brijesh.
Yeah, so one thing what I can see in the Zomato 300 was the level where previously also the stock has witnessed a profit booking, and some now again somewhere from the technical perspective again the stock has reacted to that 300 level and is correcting lower. But if you see the long-term charts, it looks quite promising. So this decline can be viewed as a buying opportunity. The trend for the Zomato is positive. Maximum correction can be somewhere close to 270, 275. So this 275 is also the 50-day moving average. So I believe that this level should be respected. And then whenever it comes close to 270, 275, one can make a fresh entry in the Zomato. The directional view for the Zomato is somewhere to the 320, 325. That would be immediate trade setup. So I think this is an opportunity one can take a long bet. So 270 precise would be from the technical. Somebody who doesn't want to wait for the 10 points can also take this opportunity to take the long bet. From but 270, another 10, 15 point risk, one should play for 320 as on the higher side.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Zomato. Enter at 270 and perhaps look at an upside of 320 or thereabouts. Brijesh, I want to now bring focus to Reliance Industries and news that came in yesterday. Reliance Industries and Russia's Rosneft are sealing a $13 billion oil supply deal, marking major energy agreement. Now, this, of course, is big news. 500,000 barrels per day of oil is likely to be imported. What do you make of the Reliance stock this morning, and how should investors invested in the Reliance story take this news?
To be precise on Reliance, if you see from the month of October, the stock has corrected close to 20% from the highs of 1550 mark. And the trend after that, there has been a weak trend. Recently, there was some bounce in the Reliance, but that got restricted at 1320 level. And again, we are seeing the sell-off. And the low which we saw recently was close to 1220 levels. So somewhere the structure is not that positive. Today, the stock is also correcting down. There can be a small bounce, some 15, 20, 30 points bounce can be there, but then directionally, I think the stock can go back to 1220 levels. So that would be the immediate, whether it will break or we need to figure it out when it comes close to 1220 level. But definitely from this point, another 30, 40 points damage is there. So I would like to wait and watch. I like to understand whether that recent low, which was 1217, whether that level will be broken or not. Maybe over there I will review the position and then take the fresh buy. But then from this point, we'll talk of another 30, 35 points further lower.
All right, let's shift focus now to another stock that we are tracking this morning, and this comes by way of HAL. Now, yesterday, the government has signed a 13,500 crore rupee deal with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for production of 12 Sukhoi 30 aircraft for the Indian Air Force. Brijesh, your view on HAL this morning, and what does this news trigger really do for the stock?
This news may not have that much impact, but then somewhere directionally from the weekly perspective, the stock has already met with the bottom at 4,100 mark, and now it is seeing a bounce. So time frame would be a little bit larger, but then the highs, which was 5,600, the level is likely to be retested in the coming sessions. Maybe it will take a little bit a longer time, maybe a month's kind of a time. 3, 4 months kind of a view should be there. But then definitely the stock can go back to 5,600 level. So from now 4,600, we can talk of another 1,000 points rally. The swing which it took support was 4,100. So anybody who takes a long position should keep this in mind that 4,100 would be the technical stop loss. By any chance, if things go wrong and this doesn't sustain, and if 4,100 is broken, then one has to take a cautious view or maybe exit the position, or maybe one has to review their trade setup. But then directionally, the trend is positive. I think sooner or later 5600 should be on cards.
All right. And Brijesh, let's shift focus now to HDFC Bank. And HDFC Bank has received an administrative warning letter from SEBI on December 12th. Concerns of non-compliance with certain SEBI regulations. The warning pertains to the bank's activities in merchant banking, capital issuance, disclosure requirements, as well as insider trading. Now, the warning follows a periodic inspection of HDFC Bank's investment banking operations and highlights alleged violations of the SEBI Merchant Bankers Regulation 1992. Any view on HDFC Bank this morning, Brijesh? What does this news and the stock in general hold for investors?
Actually, we have spoken to the HDFC Bank, our analyst, banking analyst has spoken, and they have said that this is not going to impact any financials. Like this may be a small, and they said they are going to cooperate with whatever the inquiries or maybe what things are going on. Their financials are not going to get affected, and this is more to do with their IBDs or something like that. So, and maybe if I filter it from the technical point of view, during the last month when the HDFC Bank crossed 1800 level, there were lots of shorts during the previous series. So 1800, the core writers got they closed their positions, and now on the way down 1800, there's a lot of put writers who are there to support the market. There can be a marginal impact. The small correction which we are already seeing in the bank, this 0.5% down it is just with the market mood. Maximum maybe another 10-15 points, but then I believe this 1800 level will be respected. And so on this, HFC Bank is one which is the outperformer in the bank Nifty. So I think it will take some small damage, and then it will again start moving up. So bias is positive. Maybe if you see 1820, 1830 level, I think one can take the long bet.
Stay long on HDFC Bank is the view coming in from Brijesh Ail. Brijesh, I want to now shift focus to the FMCG sector. And after inflation data came in yesterday, cooler than a month before period and well below the RBI's upper tolerance of 6%. The rural inflation still continues to be sticky at 9.10%. However, even that data looks a little better than what the rural inflation data and the food inflation data in general has been over the last few cycles. In view of this, it seems that the entire FMCG stock basket today is actually the only sector that seems to be a little bit in the green, barring ITC at this moment, which is in the red. So I want to take your view first on ITC. How do you see the stock?
IDC, not too much of like what we used to do earlier. Like we used to take as a defensive space, we used to always take a long bet on the ITC. If I need to check it from the technical perspective, it is exactly at the 200-day moving average right now. Today's trade, 458 is the level, and right now it has broken that. And the structure for the bank ITC is slightly negative. So I'm slightly cautious. By any chance, let's say today being a weekly close, and if it doesn't sustain about 460 level and all that, so I think this level is going to act as a resistance zone. There can be a further damage of 20 odd points in the ITC. So 440 can be the next level where I will be taking a bet. Slightly cautious, not too optimistic. I won't take a long bet. I will wait for that another 20 points of decline, and maybe 440 levels I will review. But it looks slightly cautious to negative bias.
Right. Well, ITC is down about 10% on a year-on-year basis. This morning also, trade is down at about 0.66%, a little more than half a percentage point on ITC this morning. Let's stay with the FMCG sector and look at another Nifty 50 company, which is Nestle. Brijesh, Nestle, what are your views, trading strategy for today and in general about the Nestle India stock?
So Nestle, they're already the stock has seen a very decent correction. It's in the overbought zone. So Nestle can see some trading bounce. 2300, 2400 can be the trading opportunity. One can play for directionally. Still, the stock is at the lower. It's in the downtrend. So it's too early to say whether the stock has formed the bottom or not. Logically, 2100 is a level previously from where the stock has taken the support. So that level yet has to be reached. So definitely there is a small trading bet opportunity, trading kind of a trade setup. But from the positional point of view, I will be little cautious. I won't take the positional bet. Trading bet can be seen towards the 2300, 2350 level.
500 levels is the view coming in. What about Dabur, Brijesh? I want to quickly, staying with the FMCG pack, I want to talk about Dabur as well. How do you see Dabur performing in trade?
So this 490, 500 is a multi-time frame kind of a support from the even from the monthly point of view. So 500 mark is a multi demand zone. So maybe somebody who is taking to a very long-term view, it's advisable to take some trades, some bets, not too much of aggressive, but then some positions can be made with respect to Dabur because this is the level from 500 to 600. This is a trading bet for so many couple of months. So one can easily play for that 100.2, and that's in percentage term, it's more than 15-20%. So that opportunity is definitely there, and it's looked like the weekly and the monthly charts are the very deep oversold zone. So some bounce is expected. Dabur can be one safe bet in FMCG space.
All right. Well, Dabur is a stock to watch out for. Brijesh, before I let you go, I quickly want to get your view on the IPO frenzy as well. We have three main IPOs which are on the block right now. We've got Vishal Mega Mart, we've got Mobikwik, and we've got Sai Life Sciences. These are open for subscription on December 11th and will remain open until December 13th. Now, IPO Street has been a buzz, and in fact, this week, not just three, we've got 5 IPOs, and we also have another IPO of Bluestone coming up. What do you make of the momentum in IPOs, and what should the trading strategy for IPOs be?
So actually, this Mobikwik, we are not like too much of aggressive. We are not having a subscribe kind of a thing. But Vishal Mega Mart is something I think in a long-term perspective can be a decent stock to look into, right? So, but we are not, with all these three, we are not having any kind of a house view saying that whether we are going to say anything to the client. So it will be a very neutral stance from my side. But then Vishal Mega Mart can be one as we compare to the DMart and other structures. There can be a long-term story can be there. So from that perspective, yes. But then officially we are not recommending like to subscribe. Maybe once it gets listed and then we see 2 to 3 quarters kind of results, then we may make entry.
All right, so muted view, a neutral view coming in on IPOs. Brijesh Ail, thank you so much for joining us right here on News 9 on Morning Brief at 9. Pleasure having you, and we hope to see you keep coming back to us.